Sorry about that. Hey guys, well, Taurus there, Walker here. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about what if Frank Castle, the Punisher, became a Hellspawn. Now here's the crazy thing about Frank Castle and Al Simmons. They both have similarities that is nearly identical to one another. Both men was in the army. Both men were savages when it came to killing. Now for the most Punisher stories, it's a hit or a miss because the Punisher Max storyline, the story itself is uncut and it's a lot of craziness that's in the story. Punisher drowned his own teammate just because he was, trying to dip his meat into a woman that he wasn't supposed to. But overall, it's Frank fucking Castle. Hard cock, man, glow. Now, the only difference between Frank and Al, Frank loved his family, but was murdered in the park by mob members, right? And for Al, he loves Wanda, but his thirst for killing and war is his first nature. And also Al Simmons abused Wanda, and punching her in the stomach caused her to have a miscarriage. And another similarity that Al and Frank has, Frank Castle in the future became Cosmic Ghost Rider. Future Galactus made him into a herald so that way they both can kill Thanos together. Even though Galactus had died in Cosmic Ghost Rider and Thanos fought, but the sheer power of Cosmic Ghost Rider was great that he had to hold back his power or the planet would have got destroyed. And for Al Simmons, he had to pass the mother of all creation test and become Godspawn, wiping out all of the demons that was on Earth and then creating a new Earth and bringing everyone back who had died on the previous Earth. And I'll explain one more similarity before I get into my what if story. Once when Al Simmons brought everyone back to life and he wasn't a Hellspawn anymore and he was human again, Al was about to make his way back home to see Wanda, only to be stopped by the mother of creation. She had to show him the truth and that he himself blocked out and that he had to atone for his sins. And for future Ghost Rider, and for future Cosmic Ghost Rider, he went back in time to visit the graves of his family, only to be visited by the main universe's Punisher, the 616 version, and both of them fought, and Punisher told his future self, you had a time stone and you could have went back in time and saved our family. And the future Ghost Rider basically said, we deserve this, and left. So it means that Frank Castle's family had to die in order for the Punisher to exist. So I'm like, damn, this shit is kind of crazy knowing that both men share a similar fate in history. Only difference is Al Simmons was in hell for 5 years being tortured by the Violator and being groomed to lead Hell's army. But yeah, now for the what if. So Frank Castle died that day alongside his family. Only difference was that Frank Castle was in hell, and when he got out of hell, he was a Hellspawn. Frank Castle would have woken up in his old family's house with no memories of his past. Frank sees a bunch of old pictures on the wall and gets vague memories of who he used to be. Frank looks at himself in the mirror and gets scared at what he saw. Hours pass and Frank Castle was at a drug den killing everyone that is there. Frank will be wandering the streets until he is sleeping in an alleyway. More memories begin to flow back into Frank Castle's mind as he remembers the faces of the gang members who murdered his family. Frank goes out and finds the people who was responsible and kills them, and he gets revenge, and he gets his vengeance. The Violator shows up playing with himself and tells Frank he's not done. Like, I see Frank Castle doing the same thing Al Simmons would do. Only difference is that his dead wife is not alive, or with Terry, so God and the devil can't be brought back into the world. Frank Castle would have still be the Punisher, but he'll be a Hellspawn Punisher. When you think about it, that sounds a little sick though. Hellspawn Punisher though. Like he's fucking, like he's, he got the skull on, and then he got like the power of the Hellspawn. Like, boy, that shit sound good. Frank Castle would kill the Fat Demon, Malbolgia, and the Violator, and his only role would be to kill off villains and be the protector of the world. And I guess the only people Hellspawn Punisher would be fighting against would be Mammon, I guess the fallen angel guy, right? Yeah, that dude, would be, using his forces against like Punisher, Spawn, right? Overkill, the Redeemer, and Urizen, and a few other peoples that are in the that are in what the fuck, and a few other peoples that are in Spawn's universe. But I think Hellspawn Punisher would have had enough on his plate, dealing with the forces of heaven and hell, and also coping with the fact that he'll never see his family again. But I want to hear your opinions on if the mother of all creation would have given Frank Castle a chance to be with his family, or do you think it's best for him to become a Hellspawn to atone for his bloodthirsty sins? For those who are new and never heard of Frank Castle, we have comic books, movies, and TV shows, in case nobody know who he is. But like I said in the beginning, both Frank Castle and Al Simmons have a lot of similarities. Hell, there was even a story where Frank Castle became Frankencastle. They cut his ass to bits and reformed him into Frankencastle, or Frankenstein Castle, I should say. So it's like, you know, like I said before, man, it's just so crazy how nobody never like brought this up or talked about like how, you know, they're literally like almost the same and stuff, you know, almost the same. Like I said before, like they both share like a lot of similarities and stuff. Like, you know, Frank Castle loved the hell out of his family, and even if he had a chance to, he would like go back in time just to be with his family. Or if he would have had the acquire of the Infinity Gauntlet, right? Basically, he would have just wished for that day to never happen. Like you know, like the people, like the gang members never killed his family, and he still would have been with his family and stuff. That would have been like his only wish, right? And for for Al Simmons' case, it was just, you know, he loves war, he loves killing and stuff like that. Motivates him and drives him more and stuff. And Wanda is like his second, because you know how when people say like if you get into like a relationship or whatever, and they would say like, oh, you should prioritize like the female first and then your business should be second. Not in Al Simmons' case. Al Simmons' case was more like it was business first, and then that love shit can come last. But even though he loved Wanda, it was just that the need for killing was just, it was his first nature and stuff. So it's like, yeah, and he had to go through like a lot of shit. And then when he got sentenced to hell and when he came back out, you know, his memories was kind of shocked and it was vague and stuff, and he didn't know who he was at the time. So I would believe that it would be the same way for Frank Castle. It would be like, you know, memories is kind of like fucked up. He doesn't know what's going on, you know, until he starts getting vague memories of what he remembered about he losing his family. They all died that day and stuff, but it's just that they went off to be in heaven while Frank Castle was in hell, becoming a Hellspawn and stuff. And I think that would make so much sense if Frank Castle would have died that day, because in the what if scenario, it's like, yeah, Frank Castle should have died that day, but Frank Castle lived, and since the trauma of losing his family, he became a Hellspawn. That would be his origin. That would be him and stuff. Just like how Al was, but in this case, Al's was different because he was betrayed, and then I believe he was killed. I forgot. No, I think Jason Wynn, ordered the hit. I think. Yeah. I think Jason Wynn ordered the hit. Like somebody, let me know on that. But I think it was Jason Wynn that ordered the hit, and then he got betrayed and then he died. And then 5 years later, he wakes up and he's just like, "Yo, what's going on?" And the Violator's just saying, "Well, I gotta violate you. Well, I already did that, but you know, I'm your ward, basically." So, like I said, man, it's just, oh my god, man, I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. It's good. It's really good. Like I don't know what to say here. I don't know what to say here, but yeah, you know, if you like what you heard, you like. You know, please subscribe, share, you know, do all that wonderful stuff, and I catch you later.
There's one of you and 6.